of the Putties. Part 5. The End. Dr. Dead stood there, hovering over Dr. Fairweather, who was choking on his own blood.
Are you nuts?
Nightwing barked as he pulled out one of his skirmish sticks and swung for Dr. Dead. Then One-Up caught his wrist mid-swing.
Hear out the insane freak first. He might have a point.
One-Up told him, I've done this already. I'd gone to that fucking world, and I fought the Supreme. We all did, and we won. But this fucker got his hands on the Supreme's powers, and went totally schizo, and he killed everybody. Or was at least close to. Dr. Dead explained. Well, Dick, it's your call. You know this nutcase, Arklow stated.
He's got a few screws loose, but he ain't a liar.
Nightwing sighed. I wanted to show the world my genius, Dr. Fairweather grunted. Then Mitchell ran over and swung his boot into the doctor's face. Then he stomped on his face over and over again. Mark stormed over and grabbed Mitchell and pushed him back.
It's not worth it,
Mark told him. Mitchell stood there with a heavy breath. Then he turned around and stormed off out of the warehouse. You can, leave that in him. It'll keep him alive. If he survives the brain stomping, anyway, Arklow muttered. Everyone gathered around, and Dr. Dead then explained everything that had happened when Mr. Pocket suddenly cleared his throat. Okay, seems like doing it the first time went almost good, but we need it perfect, Mr. Pocket sighed.
Dead. You said we won, but you also said all the Putties ran away afterwards,
Mark stated.
Oh yes, they ran away like little cockroaches.
Dr. Dead said. What are you thinking, Mark? Spider-Man asked him.
We have been looking at this as a war between Suits and Putties, but I spoke to them. They have a mind and a connected society. For them, this isn't a war to leech off this planet. For them, it's a war to protect theirs. The Supreme Putty was Billy Cranston, or had the mind of one. I know for a fact, if he was evil, Earth wouldn't stand a chance. But he would never stop caring,
Mark stated.
Your point being?
Jordan asked.
I have 2 points. One, Dead said it had been upgraded, and the Supreme looked different. That proves that a few days I've been here could have been years for them. And 2, gotta ask yourself the question, why invade an alternate universe?
Mark replied.
They're out of resources,
Nightwing said. They're running out of time, and pressure is upon them, Arklow said.
They're gonna take the first chance they get. Mark left their universe. That gives them the spark they need,
Soma stated. We're honestly suggesting we save their planet, Arklow muttered.
Is there any way we can contain it? Secure it somehow?
Mark asked.
Before Union Day, we had some weirdo wearing some ant-themed gimp suit. He could shrink stuff down like tiny.
One-Up stated. Are you talking about Ant-Man? Spider-Man questioned. One-Up responded with a shrug of the shoulder.
We had someone similar, called himself the Atom.
Nightwing told the group. The group kept throwing out ideas, some good ones and some bad, but eventually, like a well-placed puzzle piece building into a beautiful picture, their new plan came together. The group walked through the portal and walked out onto the world made out of clay. Dr. Dead walked ahead and pointed to the tower that was shooting the gigantic beam into the sky, which created a rather large portal big enough for the planet to go through.
We need to shut that down so Dorothy can get back to Kansas!
Dr. Dead sighed.
I can sort it out. Again, I guess.
Jordan said awkwardly. Her suit formed over her and she took flight. She flew up high in the air and aimed her ring. Then a large sun-like sphere formed and flew up the tower. It hit the tower and imploded, taking out the tower with it, and the beam cut off and the portal vanished.
Guys, keep him busy. Don't do anything stupid. Watch dead like a hawk. And for the love of God, don't die.
Nightwing barked. Then Nightwing and Oculus bolted off and ran through the group of putties, only striking the ones back in the act of defence. The rest of them ran through the group of putties. Mark and Mitchell both morphed, and the group ran through the group of putties, only fighting off the ones that attacked. They paid close attention to the putties who weren't there to fight. They weren't there for war. They were people, the society that was built. They climbed up the tower and reached the Putty Supreme rather quickly. "You fools. I will have your universe," the Supreme roared.
I think we misunderstood each other last time.
The Red Cornish Ranger sighed. "Please, you will never understand us," the Putty Supreme growled.
I am mutant, you know. I live day by day being hated for something I was born with. Trust me, I get it.
One-Up barked.
No, please! Try being in my head for a minute. First prize is the key to Hogwarts! I killed myself.
Doc Dead grinned.
I think the point is, we all know what it's like being an outcast.
Noma stated. "No! I will save us by ending your miserable Earth, forming it into a new world. I'll keep my people safe," the Putty Supreme barked. Then he started floating.
Jessica, do it!
One-Up roared. A putty ran up and swiped the Supreme Putty's headpiece off. Then it shimmered and Jessica stood there holding onto the headpiece. She dropped it onto the ground and stamped on it. "You bitch!" the Putty Supreme called out as he landed on the ground. Jordan landed and aimed her ring.
Just give me the word.
Jordan growled.
We ain't gonna fight you anymore. We have a better solution.
The Red Cornish Ranger barked. "Lies. That's all you speak, Ranger," the Putty Supreme cried out. The Red Cornish Ranger took a step forward and demorphed and knelt down next to the Supreme.
Look at me. We are going to save this planet. We are going to help you.
Mark said with determination. The Supreme Putty stared Mark in the eye, then took a deep breath. Nightwing and Oculus found a tunnel. They started walking through it and the putties did not follow. "Hey, you think this device will actually work?" Oculus asked.
Look, I don't know where Pocket got it from, but he says it works, so it should work.
Nightwing stated. "Oh, so you trust my dad now?" Oculus asked.
I never said that.
Nightwing muttered. Oculus let out a scoff as they carried on walking. Nightwing held up his hand, stopping Oculus. Then he turned to him.
I didn't mean to offend you, man, and I'm sorry. You're good. It's just your dad is a little sketchy, and also kinda creepy.
Nightwing said, trying to act like a joke. "Oh no, I get it. He can do some weird shit. I don't even know if he's a mutant or not. You don't even talk about my mom. Ever. Like, literally ever. But there is good in him, though. When my powers kicked in, he was solid. He actually trained me, and got me hanging out with the boys. I would die for those guys, you know?" Oculus snapped.
Yeah, I know, man. Like I said, I am sorry. I should not have made that comment.
Nightwing sighed. "Dude, I'm fucking with you. Jesus Christ, you suits are so uptight." Oculus chuckled. He punched Nightwing in the arm and they both carried on walking.
You can trust us, you know. We're not all bad.
Nightwing stated. "Yeah, I know, but we have our cautions. The X-Men were mutants, and they were also heroes with suits, and they were all hated. Then we learned, oh yeah, there's a whole nother universe with these metahuman things, which, oh, by the way, are hated as well. Some of you superheroes with suits, but mutants can live normal lives too. And they can also be the bad guys, just look at Sabretooth. So the logic reason is, super suits, heroes, not a good thing," Oculus stated.
You hang out with Gambit, dude.
Nightwing retorted. And the dude has done a whole lot of bad before he became a hero. Trust me, Remy ain't no saint, Close replied. Before Nightwing had a chance to respond, they came to a clearing and saw a big purple energy core in the containment tube suspended by clay tendrils. So that's the thing holding the planet in place? Close asked.
Yeah, we have to put this there so when Soma does his thing, the planet doesn't implode. Or something along those lines.
Nightwing stated, holding a small device in his hand. The clay looks old. Grapple hooks aren't gonna work, you know that, right? Close said.
Got any suggestions?
Nightwing asked. Close's eyes turned red. He grabbed Nightwing, spun him around, and threw him across the massive gap up to the core. Nightwing grabbed onto the containment capsule, hanging there for dear life.
Dude, not cool, man.
Nightwing yelled. Yeah, stop whinging like a baby. Just put the device on already, will ya? Close chuckled. Nightwing placed the device on the containment pod and then backflipped off the core and landed on the ground safely. Close nodded and they both started running back through the tunnels.
Nightwing to Alpha Squad. The device is planted. Start the procedure. We will be there in 3 minutes.
Nightwing said into his communicator. Mark pulled the Supreme to his feet.
You need to stop dictating like a human and start thinking like a putty. Billy was smart, but he was human smart. You need to learn to be a putty.
Mark told him, pointing at the massive crowd of putties that stood there watching in awe. Why are you helping us? The Supreme Putty asked. Dude, we're superheroes. We save people, Spider-Man replied.
He speaks for the ill-minded and dumbasses of the group.
Dr. Dead grinned.
Alright, kid. It's time.
Mark told Soma.
Alright, folks. Welcome to the Reality Stone Express. Please strap in. We've never done this before.
Soma said sarcastically. He pulled the Reality Stone out of the dual disc and held it into the air, and the stone started glowing. Everyone turned to the Putty Supreme.
We have to go! Now!
Nightwing barked. Hey, at least you guys can be safe, right? Spider-Man said.
I will keep you safe, and you guys can live with an ongoing planet without being disturbed or disturbing anyone else.
Mark told the Supreme. But what about my soldiers on Earth? The Supreme asked.
Working on it.
Soma barked.
Alright, Pocket, get us out of here!
Nightwing ordered. Then there was a massive flash of red light. Suddenly, the heroes and villains stood in the warehouse back on Earth, and a medium-sized marble laid on the ground. It was grey and dull. Mark bent down and picked it up to examine it.
Are you safe?
Mark asked curiously.
Yes, they've been put into a pocket-sized dimension, so you could throw it for your dog and it wouldn't affect anything.
Soma stated. Mark put the marble in his pocket, then sighed a long sigh. Thank you everyone for banding together. Let's hope this does not happen again. Writing all this down on paper for the paperwork takes months, and uses a lot of ink, Mr. Pocket said to the group.
Well, I'd best be going. Thank you all for the help, and I'm glad I had such a group like you to aid me on this.
Mark announced to the group.
Without you, Mark, we might not have won this, so thanks.
Nightwing replied.
Hey, I'm just glad I'm no longer a clay doll. It was very awkward and uncomfortable.
Gambit moaned. Everyone smiled at the people who originally were clay dolls now turned back to normal. Mark said his goodbyes, and then pulled out his portal gun and aimed it. A portal opened. Mitchell walked up to him. Thanks for the really short training session, Mitchell said solemnly.
Here, I got something for you.
Mark said, handing him a small circular device.
It's like a multi-dimensional panic button. Press it and I will come quick as I can. But I will also check on you every now and then.
Mark told him. Oh, wow. Thanks, man. Mitchell grinned.
Till next time, guys. And, like a wise man in my universe once said, may the power protect you.
Mark called out. Everyone waved and called out to him as he walked through the portal, and then the portal closed. The Red Cornish Ranger continued his hunt for the person who wronged him. Everyone stood there in shock and awe of the events that had transpired in the last couple days. Prepare to run. Run like the demons licking your heels, Dr. Dead growled.
I don't like the creepy lunatic with the face paint, but he may have a point.
Sabretooth growled. The villains all banded together and prepared for a fight. Easy now. Everyone calm down. You so-called villains are free to go, Mr. Pocket told them. Everyone looked at each other with rather confused faces. If the heroes have an issue, they can deal with me personally. You were warriors. You fought for our planet, on the front line. You could have died protecting us. So right now, you have a free-to-go pass. But as soon as you leave my property, it's all free hands. Down for everyone. Understood, Mr. Pocket declared.
Well, boy blunder. See you in Gotham. Taco Bell says about 7 you bring your family and I will bring mine. Yeah?
Dr. Dead said to Nightwing.
It's a date, Dead. It's a date.
Nightwing responded. The Gotham villains walked away, leaving the warehouse.
As per usual, we'll see you around. Runts for hire.
Sabretooth growled.
You're lucky the boss is here. Trust me, Fangface.
One-Up barked. Pyro chuckled as the Brotherhood duo walked out. Jordan then turned to Thunderstruck.
What you said back there, I don't expect anything.
Jordan sighed.
Look, let me get some cash in, and then when I have some time, I will give you a call, and we can arrange a day, okay?
Thunderstruck said. Jordan nodded, then she gave Thunderstruck a slight smile before she walked away. The magic wielders opened a portal and headed back home. Isaac said his goodbyes and walked away as well. Soma said his goodbyes and headed back to his dorm room to explain everything that happened to his roommate. Mr. Pocket told him he could keep the reality stone for now, but he would keep an eye on him. Spider-Man took Vixen back home and went to the hospital to check on his mother. Captain Cold and Venom also left to make sure that they acquired some distance from Spider-Man. The Guardians of the Galaxy took off on their ship and left Earth once again to explore the galaxy. Nightwing and his crew turned to the mutants for hire.
Again, thank you.
Nightwing said.
Yeah, same. I don't trust you suits, but I respect the fact that we just saved the world together.
One-Up told him.
Hey, Blue Boy, you want that rematch? You let me know, okay?
Gambit told Nightwing.
When I want a live punching bag, Remy, I will let you know.
Nightwing retorted. Gambit then looked at Oculus.
Look, you and your boys are solid, but I just want to say if by any means you need me, me and my shell got your back, okay?
Gambit said seriously. Yeah, no worries, man, I got you, Oculus replied. Gambit then left the warehouse. Nightwing shook Mr. Pocket's hand, and then he walked away with his crew. I wonder where, Ra's al Ghul got up to. He kinda disappeared, huh? Robin stated.
I don't know, he left with the assassins.
Nightwing sighed. Actually, he kinda left this for you, Robin said, handing him a small parcel. Nightwing took it from him and opened it, and saw it was a small homing beacon that fell into his hand, with a bat logo on it.
Master Dick, sir, it looks like Master Damien wants to keep communications open, if we are ever to need him again.
Alfred said with a grin. The Mutants for Hire boys turned to Mr. Pocket. So, now what, Dad? Oculus asked. Boys, it's been a long couple of days. Eat something. Get some goddamn shut-eye. Then, if I remember correctly, we have 2 metahumans hunt down for the government. And to earn some cash. Mr. Pocket chuckled. The world carried on moving. It didn't take long for the world to start repairing the damages and the heroes and villains to carry on living their lives. The villains carried on being villains, and the heroes carried on saving the day. The universe, once again, was in a unique sense of balance, with the addition to the morphing grid being added to the universe. It would never go back to normal, but then again, the universe was never normal in the first place.
Jessica, Ember, and Jordan, the Red Lantern, was voiced by Jordan. Jack, the Orange Lantern, was voiced by Crimson. Soma Noir was voiced by Ghost Galaxy Cosplay. Bane was voiced by Draco de Valentine. Scarecrow was played by Franken Sauce. Pyro was played by Cosplay Sun 637. Arson was played by A-Crown. Black Canary was played by Decent Hugs. Ghost Rider and its host Kit was played by Oni Guy. Vixen was voiced by Naomi Edwards, Ty's stepmother. Felicia Hart was voiced by Kat Osborne. Cardio and Venom were voiced by Ethan. One Up and 1/3 of Dr. Dead's voices was played by the J Dragon Hart. Arkham was voiced by DJP voiceover. Thunderstruck was voiced by Austin, aka XX Dark Angel 69. Nightwing and Gambit were voiced by Cosplay Dude 637. Sabretooth, Alfred, 1/3 of Dr. Dead's voices. Also, the Red Cornish Ranger was voiced by Mark, the Red Cornish Ranger himself. Everyone else was voiced by the writer and storyteller, your host, Ty Tiger.